And we're live. You threw me off. You started changing. I was like, "Oh crap, we got the wrong thing going on." But hey, welcome to the Strikeout Beer Podcast, your least favorite podcast, providing subpar content for almost 6 years now. We're
Mm.
coming up on the anniversary show
Oh, yeah.
is next month. Um, as always, I'm Alan.
I'm RD. What's up?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm
How you
fine.
are you hanging in there? Are
Yeah.
you doing all right?
Oh, I'm fine.
No? No, what? I'm so confused. You
I
said,
think
"Are you doing all right?" You said, "No." You said, "I'm fine." Like,
well, you ask, you're hanging in there. You go, "You doing fine?" I go, "Yes." And you're like, "You hanging in there?" I go, "No." But,
no.
that's the thing with dudes. I'll say this, and I think a lot of people don't understand, like, when you're a dad, a husband, or whatever, there's like a million things going on in your head that you're like, "I gotta take care of this, do this, I gotta do" there's all this stuff you have to do on just a daily basis. Just to make
Yes.
sure that the rest of the people in the house stay alive. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, they have no idea what's going on. They just
But we don't like as men, we don't, um, let the other people in the family know that the S that we're dealing with though,
they
right?
don't need to know everything. Yeah, I'm not
But
trying
we
to
don't,
bring
like,
everybody
we're not
else down with
trying
my
to, right?
shit.
We're
Yeah.
we're here to provide stability,
Mm.
comfort, a level of calmness,
Mhm.
and protection, right? That's what we do,
Yeah.
you know? Um,
I will say that's
like,
pretty accurate there, when it came down to Milton's already made it in here. "What's up, brother? How are we doing?"
Milton, how you feeling about that Dallas Cowboys draft? You feeling all right?
Memphis, Tennessee, on the road. I like Memphis. Memphis, cool
Oh,
place.
oh,
Yeah.
she's Memphis.
He's on the road. Yeah, he's driving.
So you obviously didn't know he was on the road because if you did, you would have been hitting him up every 5 minutes asking him if he was in Memphis yet.
That's just with
Because
you. Well, you had to drive from here to Michigan to
yep,
renew a license and then drive back. So I was like, let me just call him real quick, just see what he's up to. Because me and Liz were just sitting around drinking. It's like,
and it was just, "Are you in Memphis yet?" "No."
yeah,
"Tell me when you're in Memphis."
yeah.
Okay. How far away are you from Memphis?" "It says I'm like 5 hours away from there, man." "Okay, cool." 10 minutes later, my phone's ringing. "Hey, buddy, what's up?" "Hey, you in Memphis yet?" "No, nope, still not.
So
I'm still 5 hours away." Um,
5 hours away from Memphis is like an hour away from Dallas.
I don't
That
that
no,
that
I'm telling you, that's what it is.
like, as soon as I left, you started asking me, "Hey, you almost in Memphis?" I'm in Euless, man. Like, I just left my house. No,
Are you
no,
in Memphis yet?
no.
Jesus.
Dude, I'm in my driveway. I haven't even left yet.
Yeah, I just packed the bag.
So
I'm out of here. I gotta go. But yeah, so like, yeah, back to that whole thing. It's like, with all the stuff you gotta do. And I'm actually pretty calm, I think, under pressure when it comes to like the kids and stuff like that. I
oh,
remember
yeah,
like
100%.
Junior got flung out of a golf cart once and smacked his head, and they had to care flight him out. I was the one who's like, all right, let's just calm down. Everybody take it easy. And so I was like, all right, let's get on the horn and let's get him on his way or whatever. And then Tyler busted his foot open, doing something bleeding all over the house. And he calls like, hey, I'm bleeding everywhere. I'm like, all right, well, let me go ahead and let me relay that information to Lizzie. Because I
Well,
told Lizzie, I was like,
that's
hey,
a mistake.
you're gonna have to well, she had to go get him. And
Okay.
I was like, hey, listen, there's gonna be a lot of blood. It's a bad cut. Just chill, when you get there, type thing. You know what I mean? It's like if you freak out, they're gonna freak out. Yeah, and
100%.
then
Yeah.
obviously, and then Tyler got, he got drilled by that car, and I was that was the time I was kind of upset. I was like, because I was getting like tires changed at a shop. I was like, hey, it's Friday. I'm getting my tires changed. I don't know what the hell's going on. The principal just called type thing. I was like, she's like, and even then she was like, just calm down. I go, okay, it's fine. Kid got hit by a car. I'll be calm.
Yeah. I've had 2 big cases where I've had to be like the calming, like, hardcore calming, like, just trying to tell the missus. Like, the first one was when she was pregnant with the youngest one, with Kinsey,
Got a good
and
RB from Longhorn. All right, all right.
maybe, we'll see.
Yeah.
Um, and she was going through she had high, blood pressure and stuff like that during the pregnancy, gestational diabetes, and, like, she was going through this whole thing where we were doing pressure tests, like, every appointment. And if her blood sugar or not, her blood pressure was so high, they might have had to like induce. And we're at the appointment, or just before we go to the appointment, we get a call on the oldest one. Um, she she was having some issues with blood sugar. We got call from Cook's Children. Your daughter has type 1 diabetes. You need to go ahead and come to Cook's Children Hospital, and you're gonna check her in, and you guys are gonna end up staying here for a few days.
Jeez.
Yeah, and so she's freaking out, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, "Look, you need to calm down because if her blood pressure is so high, they're not gonna let her leave her appointment for Kinsey because she's there getting the checkup on that." I said, "So if you wanna be able to be there for the oldest one, you gotta calm down so that you can they'll let you leave the hospital over here so that we can go to the hospital over here." So that was a big one. And then the other one was with the youngest when I don't know if you remember, she had the infection in her hip and we had to check her in the hospital. She had to have surgery and stuff like that. And like she
Mhm.
couldn't walk or anything like that. And I went and I picked her up and I was like, okay, we got to go take her to the hospital. And like I had to look at Liz and be like, look, you need to stay here, take care of the oldest one. You're not coming right now because I, you know how moms are, right? When their kids hurt, you're too much right now. I need to go. I'll go. We'll take care of it. We'll find out what's going on. And then we found out she had to be admitted. We're gonna have surgery in the morning. Cool. So she was able to just kind of stay home, take care of the oldest one, kind of center herself, just kind of get everything under control. While yes, I'm freaking out because my 3-year-old's having to have surgery on her hip because she's got some sort of an infection and they can't tell me what it is, or like still to this day, like they never knew what caused it. They were like, yeah, it was just some infection. Like sometimes you'll bump your hip and you'll get an infection and a bunch of fluid in your hip and we got to drain it. Well, what caused it? I don't know. It's just something that happens from time to time. And they never actually found out what it was, which was the crazy thing. But
Weird.
yeah, we all have those situations where we've just got to just be the one that's like, you know what? Everybody just chill the fuck out. We
Yeah,
got this.
best place for them is away. Just go
Yes.
away,
100%. Like,
you
and
lunatic. We don't want any
it's
dramatics either. We don't need you fainting in the hallway or any of that shit because then
and
we
it's
gotta deal with
nothing
that.
against them. We get it.
Yeah.
That's your baby. You want to take care of them. You want to do everything you can, but you're not making the situation better. You're making the situation worse because you're freaking out because you don't know what's going on with your kid. You know what's going on with your baby. So you're making everything worse. And so that they're freaking out a little bit more. And we got to be there and be like, look, we're here. We're gonna push all of our emotions down. Just down, 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 down. We're gonna hide them so nobody sees them, even though we're freaking out too. And we want to cry and get upset, but we can't. We gotta be the calming voice of it all.
I usually just sit down and fire up the TV, see what's going on, check out what the situation is down at the cafeteria, you know?
It's like, "Hey, what do you
O
think's going on in Doc McStuffins' world?
order
Let's find
order
out."
up a couple beers, you know? Just kinda,
Well,
you know?
can't do that when you're at the hospital, it's frowned
It's
upon.
America. There's always a
Yeah,
bar.
not in the hospital, though, not in, uh, but yeah.
Yeah, what can I get you? 2 Miller Lights, I guess, and you want anything?
Yeah, can I get a Jaeger shot too? It's really
Yeah,
gonna calm the nerves.
just put it
I'm
right
not scared.
in the IV, man. Just hook it up, let's go. Put it right in the system.
Here's the thing, get me a case of Coors Light and just get me I'll just take the small bottle of Jaeger and then
Yeah.
hook me up to one of those IVs and I'll be good to go.
Oh, I mean, yeah, if I'm staying overnight, give me a case. I mean, I'm just gonna sit there and pop them anyways. I mean,
Right.
I've I've had to stay in the hospital a couple nights, a couple times overnight, and it's just like, all right, whatever. I used to
I
hate
hate it.
staying there,
I still do. I still do.
and I just did it. I was like, all right, I'm gonna suck it up and do it. And I was like, I wake up and then they're fucking bother. They come in every 5 minutes. It seems like I don't get no sleep. Get up, go to the house, log in, come back, go then back and forth. That was the last. Yeah, that was the
Oh,
last big time I was at the hospital. I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm done with all this shit.
yeah.
Just
It's
fix her already. Oh,
right.
here's Lizzie.
Well, the worst has been like when Liz has had it. Like she's had a couple times, over our 15, 16 years together where she's had to spend a few nights in the hospital. And those are always the worst because I can't be there with her because
Oh,
I gotta be here for the kids,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like, especially, like, the first time she was there, her mom was able to watch Kieran, and able to take care of her so I could be there for her a little bit more. But, like, this last time that she had to spend a few days there, um, Liz's mom, she's just, we've talked about some of the issues, she's going through. She's going through dementia and Alzheimer's now, and so she can't really watch the kids anymore, and so it's yeah, sorry, I would love to be here more, but
yeah.
I gotta do and then, like, with, like, Kinsey, she's got a bunch of other stuff, like, we almost have something going on almost every night of the week. So it's, "Hey, I gotta go take her and do this, I gotta go take her and do
Yeah,
that," and things
I
like that,
can't I
right?
can't interrupt softball practice because
It's
they're in the hospital, you fucking weirdo. God.
no, no, it's not that, it's not fucking that, so
Yes,
shut
it is. Yeah.
um,
We got
no,
listen, we've got pitching tonight, BP tomorrow, we're gonna be
hey,
in the field with the team
here
on fucking Thursday.
here's the thing, we got pitching and batting lessons today, and I've already paid for that. I've already paid for
Yes,
it,
this
so
shit's already paid for. I'll
already
see you
paid for.
afterwards.
Sorry. No, and I got to get the kid in bed because 'cause she's got school, right? You
I
know?
mean, yeah, I get you.
Yeah, I got
We don't got no
the
young
kid's
kids
gotta be
around
in
here.
bed close to
Yeah,
8 o'clock if we
yeah,
don't have
yeah,
anything else going on because she wakes up at 5:30 in the morning, you know?
yeah,
I am drinking Yingling Bock beer right now. Hold on, there we go, Bock beer.
yeah. That's a good
This is
beer.
just a rando night. Melton, you caught us on a rando night. I think Rapid Dave is knocking back some Coronas.
Yeah, yeah. I
Um,
poured, about 3 of them in here, so
yeah,
we're going to town a little bit at a time. I'll probably ask for another refill right about there. I'll have Lizzie
there
bring me
you go.
one. Yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm
get her
having this Bock beer, then I've got 3 different beers from Martin House. I'm bringing a selection of beers tonight. Rapid Dave is just like, I'm
I gotta
going to Mexico, and, do you boys like Mexico?
yeah, I gotta clear these things out of my fridge. My brother brought them over. He brought over a big old case of them, and so we were kinda going through them, and then all of a sudden, it stopped, right? He's not hanging around much right now, and the boys are off doing their thing, so it's like, "Okay, well, I gotta get these things out of my fridge." Everything's kinda piling up. I'll tell you one thing, Melton, though. We just had a Star Wars beer from Fall Sidle that we're gonna drop on May the 4th. Actually, that's on Sunday. Maybe I'll drop it on, like, Friday. It's called Hollow Puck, and it
I
was
love
a
Buc
hazy IPA, freaking phenomenal. It was
Fall
a year
Sidle.
old. It's a 2024 anniversary beer. We had it tonight. We've been holding on to it for a year,
It's like
and
11 months old,
yeah,
11 months.
just knocked it back. So, but yeah, no, it's a no craft beer. Well, at least for this. Obviously, when we get into Patreon things like that, this was technically a clear the fridge episode. So since it was about a year, 11 months to a year old,
Yeah.
and for the late night over there on Patreon that we're going to be doing craft beer action. So
We'll
yeah,
have one
be careful out there, buddy. Be careful out
we'll have one Patreon for the people that pay, and then one free one. So, if you're not part of the Patreon, you can join the Patreon for free, and we drop
We try.
almost once a
We
week.
try.
Almost once a week, at least once every 2 weeks. We'll get you at least probably 2 videos a month there. We try for once a week. It just depends on how liquored up we get and how conscious we are of what we're recording for things,
Yeah, there's
right?
sometimes I've looked at it and listened. I'm like, I'm not posting that. Yeah, I mean, because
Right.
being slapped. I mean, they're funny.
Yeah.
I'd love to put it behind the paywall of like whatever the highest one is, or maybe if somebody wants to
We
link
can
to
do
it
that.
just to watch, that's something else.
Dude,
But
we can put it there for the
yeah,
high dollar people, the ones
yeah,
that pay $9 a month. Jason Dennison's in the house. What's up, Jason? Um,
yeah. Because that
but
we were
yeah,
smashed. We
so
were smashed the last 2 weeks. 'Cause,
dude,
when we're remote, it just gets out of hand.
it's it's all kinds out of hand. Jason, before you ask, Rapid Dave's drinking Coronas. I'm drinking a Yingling Bock beer. And then after I have this one, I've got 3 different Martin House beers I'm gonna be knocking back over here. One of which I will make the argument is the coolest can I've ever seen.
Allegedly, allegedly.
I'm gonna make the argument. I'm gonna make the argument.
Jason,
I will put the evidence out there for the people to see, and we will debate it and discuss it. And if you're watching or listening, you can chime in.
and if you are listening or watching, can I get a "Let's go Stars" in that chat, buddy? Because they are
A spoiler alert: they're left to their own devices today. I have not wagered any money.
put some money on them. Come on, man. What are you
You owe
doing?
me $10 from the last time.
If they win this year, I'll gladly pay you $10.
Here's the thing:
What? 8:30 drop.
I bet on them last time, and I didn't do like, I thought about, like, just throwing $1 on it, but I was like, "If I just throw $1 on it, they don't know I'm serious." Right? Like, it's just like, "Oh, I'm just gonna throw something on it, whatever," because if I bet, they this because every time I didn't bet on game 1
Mhm.
and the Avalanche won.
There we go.
I bet on the Avalanche to win game 2 and game 3, and the Stars won both of those.
Yeah.
Game 4, I did not bet on, and the Avalanche won. And, like, I texted you as shit was getting out of control, and I just said, "I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't bet on the Avalanche today." And your response was, "Fuck you, buddy."
Yeah.
Uh, and I said, "I'm sorry." And then the other night, I'm sitting there and I'm looking at it, I was like, "You know what? Fuck it." So I threw 10 on it. I was like,
You could
I gotta make sure it's legit, right?"
yeah.
And a minute into the 10 seconds into the game, I text you and say, "You're welcome," and send you the screenshot of me betting on the Avalanche, $10 to win.
Just just
And
drop a little 5 spot on them real quick. It's 8
and
it's
then
all you got 6 minutes till game time.
uh, hey,
Come on.
if they lose this, they don't, you know what? Here's the thing. If they lose this one, it goes to game 7, and I'm just saying I can be bought for game 7.
We were sitting at the house, and that game was about to come on, and I was like, someone else put out a tweet about it, and it was like 79%, whoever wins game, 5 in a tied series, you win game 5, 79% of them move on to the next round. I'm like, "All right, now we're talking." I go, "But if anybody can mess that up, it's the Stars." And then, of course, I was up for probably 2 or 3 goals, and I was like, "You know what?" My dad was tired or whatever. I was like, "I'll go to bed. You gotta stay up." And I was like, "I'm probably gonna go to bed myself." I was like, "I'm exhausted. It's been a long, long weekend." And,
You're not leaving the
I went to
Stars game.
bed, and then all of a sudden, it was like I was the first thing I did when I woke up that morning, I went and checked my phone. It was like, I saw the alerts. I go, 6-2. Come on, baby. I was like,
Jason, I'm sipping on some Mountain Fort beer.
nice.
There we go. But yeah, and so the game's going on, the Stars are getting a big lead, and I almost texted you. I almost sent you a text that said, "You owe me $10." And then it was 3-0. And then the Avalanche scored, like, I thought that, but I was like, I was delivering at the time, so I was just kind of busy. And then the Avalanche scored 2 goals, and it was 3-2, and I was like, "Oh shit." And then the Stars went on and scored 3 more goals, and they won it 6-2 and stuff like that. And I almost texted you after the game, was like, "Hey, you owe me $10." Um,
Here's my PayPal.
you know my PayPal. I don't have to give it to you. You know it. You know my PayPal. You know my Venmo. You know my Zelle. You know it all. Okay. But yeah, and so tonight I'm just letting it go. I'm just letting
Oh,
it
come
go.
on. Come on.
Letting it go. I'm letting it
Need
go.
need a little bit of
And if the Avs win, I'll be like, "Hey, bro, I'll throw 10 on it for 20."
ugh. Ugh. I'm actually gonna be up in, Broken Bow later, I guess, next month there. I think,
Okay.
18th or whatever, Jason. So I'm gonna pop into Mountain Fork. Obviously, go to Beavers Bend. Beavers Bend is my favorite place to go up there. Um, it's a cool spot. Overlooks, if you're kinda high up on a hill, and it overlooks a nice little side on the other side or whatever. Oh,
White Castle.
White Castle.
White
Yeah,
Castle.
yeah. When is your birthday and when are you going? I guess give me some time periods here. I'll be honest with you, man. That was one of the things that popped up when I was talking to my folks. And because Uncle Mark, he was bringing it up too. He's like, when are we going to Vegas? And I was like, I'm not planning it because it's not around my birthday this year. I go, y'all want to go? We can go. But I'm down to go for like, say 2 nights, right? Just pop in, get out. And I was like, y'all figure it out. Let me know. And so as we're sitting there, I'm like telling everybody, I go, look, it's more expensive. May 26th. Okay, so it's almost that Memorial Day weekend. That's pretty close. So I was telling everybody, I was like, Vegas is super expensive right now. Everything's
It's Memorial
overpriced.
Day. That's
And
Memorial Day.
that is Memorial Day. Okay,
How long are you gonna be there, Jason?
can't be going for more a couple. They don't. No one goes to Vegas. I mean, the only time you go to
Shit,
Vegas for more
that
than a
won't work
couple
for me.
days,
That actually doesn't work for me. I was gonna say, because, like, if he's gonna be there for a few days, he's gonna be on a Wednesday when it's typically,
you want to
like,
pop in?
but I'm actually going, I think, that Wednesday.
Got batting practice or
We're
something?
No, we're going to, Slap's in the house. Slap just left Vegas. Slap was just in Vegas. No, we've got a tournament out Possum Kingdom.
Okay.
Rockerbie Ranch. It's like it's this whole. They have like a lazy river around all the ball fields. They have bars out there and stuff like that for the parents. It's like a whole. I think we're there for like 4 days or something like that for a tournament. That type of thing.
As far as eating there, there's a ton of good restaurants. That everything's just kind of overpriced. If you're staying
Except for White
downtown,
Castle.
you got to go to White Castle. I don't know if you fly out of Dallas, Sunday
Staying
3:30
until
till
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay, Sunday. I mean, that's Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night. It's a long stay. I would try to get off the strip.
Oh my
There's a bunch of breweries there, to be
god,
honest with you.
practice or something.
I'm not even shitting Wine Mile. He was about to go into softball, and he did.
Well,
Didn't
we
let
have a
me down.
tournament.
What a
We're
time! I
going
bet it,
downtown for a tournament.
buddy. I bet it was a blast slap. I saw like these guys that were these people that were leaving like WrestleMania or whatever, and like there was a massive line to get up the escalator, and so but they didn't
Oh,
want
and
to
all the
queue.
guys trying to go up
They're trying
the
to run
down.
up. I was like,
First of all, hold
"Idiots."
on. So let's talk about this for a second. I have gone up the wrong side of an escalator before. It's not that fucking hard.
Nah. But they're drunk and kind of fat. And this is
It,
probably back when
100.
you weren't as
These,
fat and
these,
not drunk.
these are the same guys who we've all seen the clip of the guy crying at the thing where he's like, "It's real to me, damn it,
Oh,
it's
Jesus
real to
Christ.
me," right? Talking about the wrestling. The one guy's like, "Well, it's fake." He's like, "No, it's real to me." Crying. These guys they're mathletes, not athletes. They were fat and drunk. It was so bad, dude. It's
Just like I just said. I was like, I know
yeah.
what it was.
I
Yeah.
mean, I I'm fat and not drunk, but I'm pretty sure I can go up the wrong side of a
You
freaking
not
escalator
right
fat.
now, you can. I doubt you could. You
Dude.
no. No. Tons of fun. I don't think
Let's
you
end
can.
let's end the show. Let's go to the airport. We can catch a flight to Vegas right now. Let's go.
What channel's the game on tonight? Hold on, I gotta search for
Oh,
this.
you
Oh,
don't you have Victory?
yeah, but they black you out if it's
I
oh,
don't
that's
think it's on
tomorrow.
anything. Yeah, I don't think it's on anything.
Yeah, Stars play tomorrow. Okay, yeah. That's not
Oh,
tonight. Sorry.
Stars? Okay, okay. I
Yeah,
thought you were talking
they
about
play
the
tomorrow.
Rangers.
Yeah. Rangers are on right now on Victory Plus.
Okay,
Yeah.
alright.
So you'll
So
get
we still
blacked
have
out.
time so we still have time to negotiate my fees to bet on for tomorrow.
We can. Oh, it's dog night at the park. Everybody's got their dogs out there. Sure, Tilly would have loved that. Barking her nuts off the whole time. Yeah, they play tomorrow. Yeah,
Okay, so
Jason. So, I mean, as far as restaurants go in Vegas, like I said, everything's like super expensive. So you almost want to kind of, I would go if you want something cool, like say for a really cool steak dinner or maybe like a seafood buffet or something like that. I would go towards downtown. I'll be honest with you, man. Oh shit, we got
old
old school in
school.
the house. What's up, brother? How we
How's
doing?
it
We keep getting
going? You know what? It's going great, brother.
distracted here.
Going great.
But I'll be honest with you, I went down to El Cortez to hang out for a while. They got some cool shit downtown.
There's some cool breweries out there.
That's the other thing. There's like 3 breweries that are kind of close. Another one you'll have to go. I think was it Duck? I can't think of it right now, but there's some great breweries to go to.
The one that does all the good NAs is out there.
They got Nevada
They
Brewing
do
Company. They got
the
Zombie Brewing.
but the one that does
Yeah,
the, like, what is it? The Elvis, BrewDog?
yeah, Brewdog's out there. That's on
BrewDog,
the strip.
BrewDog, yeah.
That's above Target.
BrewDog's on the strip, and they have the NAs, but they have really fucking good NAs, like,
Mhm.
they have really good NAs out there. You guys ever go to Truck Yard in the Colony? I don't
Yes.
ever go to the Colony, but there's a Truck Yard in, like, Roanoke by me, I
Yeah, I've
think.
been to 3 truck yards in the Metroplex.
Yeah, there's
The
several.
one
I've been
the
to
one
one
in
in
the county is not far from my house. I actually went over there, and the cool thing about that is it's connected to Beard Science, which is a sour brewery, but
Yeah.
it's super low ABVs. I mean, it's like 2 or 3 percenters, but it's a cool vibe. Truck yard's a cool vibe. They usually have live music going on. And then also, bonus time,
Also
there's a tiki bar there
hot.
that holds like 20 people. It's right outside of Beard Science. Like, so when you leave, it's like right there, you'll see it. It's really cool. It's dark in there. Like they keep it where you're just like you think you're like underground or something like that. It's wild. And then they got a bunch of bourbon, different drinks, craft beer. They got Kona on tap, if I'm not mistaken, Kona Brewing.
Oh,
And
I see Kona Ice. They got Kona Ice out there because
yeah,
you
I'm
mentioned
sure they're
there's
in
snow
the
cone.
parking lot. But
Mhm.
that's a cool place. And the cool thing is you can start a tab at one and you can go to all three of those places. Don't have to close out. And
That's
but yeah, Truck Yard's got cool beer, cool vibe. I sat out there on a chair, me and Lizzie just hanging out,
how many times
enjoying
you been
the
kicked out of there?
zero. Haven't been kicked out.
Okay,
I've only been there once. Now the
knock
other
on
truck
wood,
yard I've been
knock on
asked
wood. Yeah.
the other truck yard I've been asked to leave.
Oh, Jay Cisneros in the house. How's it going, buddy?
So
Jay, how you holding up? I feel like it's been a while. Like the Luca trade happened,
he's
and we
probably
saw
over
Jay. We
now.
saw Jay that week, and then we haven't seen him since.
Yeah, he's been gone.
So,
He's been gone.
uh, Hash House has good chicken and waffles.
There's another place that has really
Yeah,
good chicken and waffles. What is the name of that freaking place?
I think
It might
Hash
be a
House
little bit
is where
more
I went
po
to.
it might be a little
Hash
bit
House also
more
has like
pricey.
giant ass pancakes too,
Yeah,
like huge.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
But I would say, there's if you're on the strip, everything's gonna be kinda pricey, so
Go
go downtown
Cowboys
or go
at
off
the
the
Mavs.
strip. Huh?
Here's how you
Oh,
know things are
God.
messed up here in Dallas. He says, "Go Cowboys, F the
Ugh, let's
Mavs."
go Stars.
No one's never, ever issued that statement. Let's go Stars. But also, like, seriously, Jason, we're gonna bring it down now. We're gonna bring this in on a personal level. You have to go to White Castle.
Yeah, it's on the strip. Have you ever been to Vegas before? Because if you have, then you know exactly where it is. It's just a little bit
It,
north on the
it's
strip. It's kind of across from the Mirage, it's a really cool little area because there's a lot of eateries and things like that right there, and there's some lower rent casinos, and which are a lot of fun to hang at because one, they have a sports book in there, and then two, they got like $1 or $2 roulette, craps, all that kind of stuff. So it's really cool little place,
the
and you wouldn't think it, but it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of
what's
fun
that?
there.
God, what's that casino right there next to the White Castle where they're
This
like the same building?
It's a Casino Royale.
'Cause yeah, they had $2 beers.
Yeah. That's the other
Like,
thing. You can
yeah,
get done with that and have $2 beers, and that's if you don't wanna wait around for a waitress, and they actually have really good wait staff, so you could sit there, tip them some money, and get a beer coming or whatever, but if you just wanna go if you're like, "Hey, let me just go get a beer for myself," $2. So, and, yeah, and I think that's most of the beers they have there. They'll let you know, but,
yeah.
cool.
Everything was $2
It's a
for
dive
all.
casino, man.
Yeah, Casino Royale with the 7-inch, 7-foot ceilings.
That's it. Old school. That is my favorite casino in Vegas. Now, I love staying at REI and I like partying here and there. I love staying at the Wynn, but I always make my way down to that place.
But we probably spent a couple hours at that electronic,
Horse
craps
racing game?
no,
Oh,
the craps table.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, we got up big like, I got up big, and then I didn't walk away like a dummy, but
You had a bunch of beers and had fun, didn't you?
no, no, I didn't. I was drinking NAs. I was
Oh, that
sober.
was we were actually doing good.
You
Yeah, we were doing good then.
you were trashed, and I was taking care of you. And at one point in time, you're like, "Hey, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Just keep betting for me." And you disappeared for like 40 minutes. Like, I don't know where the hell you went because the bathroom was right next to where we were, but you were gone for like 40 minutes. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm up, but then like I start losing. I'm like, crap, where's he at? You're not here. So I'm betting on you, but I'm winning on your side and I'm losing
I've
on
been
my
known to
side.
roam. I roam a little
So
bit, walk around, say hi to people. People always thought they run into me and want to talk. You know what I mean?
yeah. Um,
So yeah, a lot of cool places. I tend to eat. I'll be honest with you. I went to Binion Steakhouse about I don't know, like up until like a couple of years ago, right before they remodeled it, and it's really cool because it's downtown. It's at the Horseshoe. It's all the way to the top, so you get a great skyline view. It's a great steak. It's a great meal. It's a great experience or whatever. But there's other things. I mean, that are less expensive than that. I thought that was kind of pricey, but great service and great food. But yeah, there's some. Look it up now as far as where to eat and go on like I think it's like Instagram and Facebook, check out like local Vegas things. They'll tell you where to go eat now because that's their whole thing, like Vegas blogger and things like that.
mhm.
They'll tell you exactly where to go. And I'll tell you what, most of them's not on the strip. It's not because it's so damn expensive. Like even getting a hamburger like in Caesars, right? At Gordon Ramsay's place, that's like $35, $40, and it's like $15 a beer. It's like,
And,
dude,
and honestly, not worth it.
Back
Like
in the day, it was like $15 for
I was I
the
would
burger.
if you
That's
give me the
fine.
option between White Castle and Gordon Ramsay's place, I'm going to White Castle.
Yeah. I do. I love White Castle.
I'm gonna get 10 sliders and like 2 fries and a large drink, and life is gonna be great. But also, like you get off if you get off when you get off at the airport and you just say, "Hey, take me to the closest casino," which is I think is the MGM.
Yeah, it's right there, right on the right.
Right outside the MGM is a Denny's. You hit up that Denny's, and
Well,
then
he's
you
going
start
for a
hitting the
couple
casino.
days, so it's like he's
Right,
he's
but I'm just saying, like,
head start.
you wanna start things off the right way? Take me to the closest casino. You go to the MGM. Before you go to the MGM, you hit up Denny's, and you start working your way down the strip, and
Okay.
you just have a great time.
I'm looking at prices right now. I might meet you out there for just a beer. How about that? Maybe. Maybe just a beer. Maybe.
I mean, it's honestly, you could probably book a round trip ticket cheaper than it will cost you to drive to Oklahoma back and forth.
Yeah, it generally is. And like around this time before, like say everybody's out of school and it's before like this day or that date or whatever. Yeah, it's crazy what you can get out there. As long as you're okay with flying, just subpar, whatever, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you don't even have to fly Spirit these days anymore. It used to be it was just Spirit had the cheap flights, but, like, the last time we flew, it wasn't Spirit. What did we fly?
Frontier,
Frontier, yeah, Frontier.
it's just as bad at the same
Yeah.
time.
I thought I saw a report that said Spirit was voted the number 1 airline experience last year.
Dude, I'll be honest with you. We talked about
I
this. And I like Spirit. I don't have a problem with Spirit at all. I think the only negative time I've ever had with them is when I didn't read or pay attention to what was going on. And
and
that was where I got in trouble.
then you got bags and ended up
Yeah,
being charged a little bit more than you should have been charged because you
that's
didn't
it.
pay attention, right? But,
That's
like,
it.
every time I've done trips to I've done trips to Florida, I've done trips to Colorado, I've done trips to Vegas, and out of all those, I've had 1 flight delayed. That was when it was me, you, Liz, Lizzie, and your mom, but we were at Chili's too, and it was like, "Oh, your flight's been delayed an hour and a half. Okay, well, we'll just stay here at Chili's too and just keep drinking." So we're already drinking mimosas and Bloody Marys. So
Yeah.
we were fine. So we got out there like an hour later than what we would have gotten out there. Um, but yeah, I've never had issues flying Spirit. I've actually done trips where I took luggage and stuff and flown Spirit and didn't have any problems. It was still cheaper than flying the other airlines. And yeah, I had bags that I checked, but I knew what I was checking. I knew it in advance. Pay for the If you pay for your bags in advance, they're cheaper than if you pay for them the day of the flight. I've had no issues whatsoever
Yeah.
with Spirit.
Yeah, but knock that thing. And they got the big seats up front. It's almost like
Yeah,
first class, and you're
yeah.
like, you pay a little extra, you get the check bags or whatever that comes with it, and bing, bang, boom.
All right.
What we doing here? Oh,
I'm gonna
Lizzie, are you still in here, by the way?
jump into this next one,
All right.
and this is the one that I'm gonna make the argument for
Oh,
being the coolest can I've ever seen from Martin House or
okay.
anywhere. Honestly,
All right.
it's called a Whole Fowler.
What?
Holes a Fowler.
Hold the
It's a
foul.
Hefeweizen with cherries, apricots, and lemongrass, coming in at 6% alcohol by volume. And hold on,
Oh,
I'm just wiping the can down.
yeah,
It's got
wipe it down. I want to see what it looks like. Hold the Fowler.
Holes of Fowler.
Holes.
Holzfa with 2 dots above it, LLER. Holes of Fowler. Are you ready for this
Yeah.
game?
Is it false
Are you
style, you
set?
said?
No, 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 Martin House.
Martin House. Martin House. Okay.
Martin House. Martin House. Here we go.
You put it in front of the camera, nutsack, so we can see it. Yeah. That's pretty. Yeah, that's wild. Almost there. There you go. Been drinking?
Yeah.
Holes Valor. Okay. Heisweisen with cherries, apricots, and I have cherries, apricots, and lemongrass.
Yeah.
That's a can art right
Cherries,
there.
apricots, and lemon. Dude, look at that.
That's wild. I just pulled it up. Yeah. I'll actually share my damn screen so y'all could see it. Better shot than what he's doing because he's
Oh,
like losing
I
his
got a
mind.
bird in the can.
Jesus. There you
There,
go.
yeah, dude, how awesome is that label?
It's pretty dope. I like
I
that.
bought it just because of the way the can looked.
Well, that's kind of back in the day too when we were sitting there, buying beers based on like,
Oh,
hey,
no, this was
jumped
I
off the
bought this
shelf.
recently. I bought this last month.
I'm just saying that's how we used to kind of buy beers. Like,
Oh,
hey, something
I will
jumped off
always
the
buy
shelf,
beers
you
like
know?
that.
Yeah. It's
I
a
will
cool.
always buy beers if I'm at the beer store and there's a can design that jumps off the shelf at me,
Yeah.
I will always buy it. 100% of the time. 60% of the time, it works all the time.
So Hefeweizen, huh? Okay, cool.
It's a Hefeweizen, but I'm gonna be honest with you,
It's gonna be real fruity.
it doesn't look like a Hefeweizen.
What's it look like? Let me see. Come on.
Hold on. I'm just trying to.
Ugh.
It almost looks like a seltzer.
You hit that goddamn thing more than what? That looks like a seltzer to you? Seltzers are clear, dude.
Well, no, well, like a fruity seltzer, like a
Seltzers are
fruity.
clear. You've never seen a seltzer that looks like that.
I have,
No, you haven't. You were
I
so
have.
full of shit.
I will fight you on
Put
that.
that back up on the screen. So
It
def
looks darker
It's a little bit red,
there. It's yeah, it's red and it's almost clear,
red and almost clear.
almost like a Mountain Dew, a hard Mountain Dew,
Okay. All right. Like a little co-red action?
a little bit, a little bit. Not as
Alright.
red. It's not as red. Um, I'm gonna tell you right now what this smells like.
Okay. Please do.
Look at the label.
Yeah.
I want you to look at the label and tell me what you think it smells like.
Well,
Look
you
at the
already
label again.
cherries and, apricots
Nope,
and
nope.
peaches or whatever.
Look at the label.
So it smells like a lumberjack?
It,
Why in
it
the hell would he have an axe going towards his face?
he's just living
It's the
life, man.
dumbest AI shit I've ever seen in my life.
It smells like Fruit Loops.
Really?
Yes.
You get all the, what do they call it? You get all the red dye 40 and stuff that's gonna fucking kill you
It
too?
it kinda smells like Fruit Loops.
Kinda smells like
Alright,
Fruit
hold on.
Loops. Alright, come on, man. Let's hear it. Let's see it. Let's talk about it. I'm actually gonna go get me a Corona, I think, because we're only 37 minutes in. I'm like 3/4 of the way through this thing.
Okay, that's pretty damn tasty.
Does it taste like a Hefeweizen?
N no.
What's it taste like? Hefs are usually like a little bit, that little sour, that wheat beer action. You know what I mean?
It tastes like a fruity beer is what it tastes like.
Man, you got to get Dylan Busby on the house to figure out what's going on here.
I wanna think I'm picking up, like, the apricot and lemongrass, not so much the cherry. Um, man, that tastes pretty damn yeah, I wouldn't think it was a beer. I would not say if I just drank this, I wouldn't say it's like a Hefeweizen style.
Yeah,
Um, and I think it's just because of all the fruit they put in it with the cherries, the apricots, and the
I can smell it through the microphone. I don't know what the deal is. I can smell it.
I said fruity peb or Fruit Loops, and you're like, I know what Fruit Loops are. Um, it's pretty damn tasty. I'm gonna have. I got to go back. I need to go to Martin House again
I can't
and pick
believe you
up
didn't do it like a one-off beer review on that thing just because of the cool can art. You like put it
I
on the live stream.
well, I threw it on the live stream versus because like I almost grabbed it for the SB Fancy Football,
Yeah,
but I was like, no, something like this people need to hear me drinking this.
I got you. I got
But
you.
I think I need to go to Martin House. I might go tomorrow and see if they still have some of this.
Isn't there a
But
beer you're supposed to pick up for me from there?
I mean, maybe I don't know.
Oh, I got to do that corn dog beer. I still haven't done it. It's gonna be an old beer at
The
this point.
the tomorrow or Saturday, the tickets new beers coming out,
Yeah,
and it's at Bitter Sisters this time
I was just there.
out there in Addison.
I was there
So
a couple weeks ago.
yeah,
Yep.
it's gonna McLaren will be there on Saturday for it
Man,
for
I
the
need that
release.
other one from Maple Branch Brewing. Yeah, Bitter Scissors, I'm sure it's fine, but
I got
they
well, I was gonna go out there and you told me not to.
they don't mix it up very much at Bitter Sisters. Like, they've got, like, their classics, and that's kinda what they brew. Our buddy Daniel Boyd was out there working for a while because he wanted to work at a brewery, kinda do some touring and stuff like that. Um,
Did you see
but
what
yeah.
our boy Christian's doing?
Nah.
They they packed up and they hit the road for the next 3 years.
Who?
Christian.
Oh, I saw him, like, 2 nights ago or a
Yeah.
week ago.
He's I think they sold their house,
Yeah?
and they're spending the next 3 years in Mexico and Central America.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Him, the wife, and the dog, they're just hit the road yesterday, was their first day on the road.
I got some other places I think I'd rather go, but that's cool.
Yeah.
To each their own. Cool.
So we might have to hit him up and hook up with him at some point when he's somewhere, like,
Yeah.
wherever he is.
He's got a good Wi-Fi signal or something.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got something. He's got a phone,
Well, I mean,
you
shit.
know?
I gotta phone him in the middle of Carrollton. You know, I can't get a good signal out of here.
Plus Carrollton.
When I was over
You
when I
live
was
in
in
a
Kentucky, I couldn't get a good signal anyway. They got in there, like, bitching about that too.
let's be honest, like, the area you're in has got it's gotten a lot scary the longer you've lived there.
I brought down every bit of property value. It ain't working, though. It keeps going up.
Well, that's just everywhere. The property value goes up everywhere.
Jesus.
So how was you went to Kentucky? How was it?
It was fine.
How was the backwoods living life?
That's okay. I flew into Louisville, then
And
rented
you
a car.
flew this time. You don't typically fly, you typically drive,
Last minute,
which is for me is upsetting because when you fly, okay, but when you drive, you can get some white lightning and bring it home.
yeah, yeah.
You can't when you fly, which is upsetting.
So if it's ever like a short trip and planned, I'll fly. If it's a longer trip or unplanned, I'll drive. Did I say fly and drive? Yeah, yeah, I said that right. So anyways, it was planned. We were only gonna go for a couple days. Flew into Louisville, rented a car. I get there. It only took like an hour and like 20 minutes to get there in the air. I was like, holy
Oh
F, this
yeah,
is crazy.
yeah.
And then, of course I get there and I'm like, yeah, hey, how you doing? Since my car's not ready, I need a car. I gotta cancel this thing. Something's gotta happen. I gotta get out of here. I'm not staying here and go whatever. And there was like 4 or 5 Asian fellows in front of me, and they were just told it's gonna be 30 to 45 to up to an hour wait on their car. There's a ton of cars getting checked in, like a ton, but none sitting in the parking lot. And I was like, hey, I
I'll take whatever you got. You got a minivan? I'll drive the minivan.
and so
I
that's what
drove
I
a
was like.
minivan when we went to Florida. Great.
And so she was like, well, no, do you mind driving anything? I don't give a shit. I pulled out the planes, trains, and
You don't
automobiles,
care.
four effing wheels and a steering wheel and a seat. That's all I need. She goes, there's a Mustang right there. I go,
Well,
I'll take
2
the
seats.
Mustang.
You need 2 seats.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll throw it in a trunk. But so anyways, yeah. They had the Mustang. They were like, there's a black one over there. I was like, or they were like, the Mustang right there. If you want, I go, I'll take that. It's fine. I go, which one? She goes, well, the one on the left's a Shelby, but that's for like someone. She already said like a name or whoever the hell had that one.
That's for Steve.
Yeah,
Jewel
Steve.
was in the house. Jewel said, "Come back to Kentucky. Piper misses you."
But that's all. I was like, so Piper was just laying on me the entire week. I'm just sitting there just rubbing
So
her head.
Piper's a dog, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's
Okay.
one of those snickerdoodle thingies.
Well, I hear Piper misses you, and I instantly went to dog before I even said anything.
Person. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Come on now,
Yeah.
come on. And so,
Who
anyways,
names her
we're getting
kid
this damn
Piper?
Mustang, and what?
I said, "Who names her kid Piper?"
Yeah, there's kids out
No,
there named Piper. You
not
bet your
not
ass.
not in Kentucky.
Oh, I mean,
Not
come
in
on.
Kentucky.
You don't think so?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, buddy, there's probably at least I don't know how many chicks are named Piper up in Kentucky. Yeah, but it's the way of the future. Way of the
No,
future.
no, no,
Piper's a girl's name.
no.
No, 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 no.
Seattle, there's a ton of Pipers.
So, anyways, we get in this Mustang. We start driving down the road. I don't know how to work because I drive old cars, right? Everything's digital, all the dashes, everything like that. So we end up hooking up Lizzie's phone to CarPlay. I get in the car. It's a push button thing. I don't know what's going on. But
Well, it's
anyways,
easy, just push the button. It's
yeah.
not hard.
So, anyways, I finally get out of this goddamn place after sitting in line, and you know, I start hearing this noise in like my right ear. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Well, the damn windows on the it's a convertible. And so the window doesn't the quarter panel window and the full on the passenger window are not connecting. So you can hear like a little whistle or whatever. And probably some dudes too. You're not wrong. You're not wrong there,
Hey,
wine mile.
hey, they probably I'll say
So,
that
anyways,
later.
drive there, super smooth, all that kind of shit. I'm like, okay, fine. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna get charged for this shit or something. I don't know whatever's gonna happen. So anyway, I only drive the car like 2 or 3 times while I'm there. Anyway, we hang out. First night we go hard. What else is new, right? We're hanging out, we're
Get
shooting
up any
pool.
river boats?
We did not go to a riverboat this time.
Oh,
We did not.
that's so upsetting.
Yeah. We were hanging out in the shop, shooting pool, bullshitting. And then what do you think happened about like midnight? I've already had a bunch of beers, and what do I want to do?
You're probably shooting guns.
I say, let's go to a bar. Let's get out of here. Let's go to a bar.
Up
And so
a bar or shooting a gun. I mean, you're in Kentucky, right?
I
You
didn't
could have
fire a
done it.
weapon this weekend. I
So
didn't fire a weapon.
that's hard to believe. I find that hard to believe.
Well, I had opportunities to do it. I just didn't want to do it. And so
Okay.
we roll over to a bar, and all of a sudden, it's we shut this effing place down. Yeah, it's some Irish pub.
Jewel said Irish
Yeah.
pub.
We shut this place down. We're all having a good time, enjoying ourselves, and all that kind of stuff. It just runs a little late. We shut it down, get back home, and then Sunday rolls around, and we're all waking up. We're moving a little slow that morning. There's a kid's birthday party later that afternoon. We sit outside. Well, I'm just like, there's only one way to fix this. Let me just get back to drinking.
Hair of the dog, right?
Yeah, so
Did you
I end up getting
did you
sunburned as
have
shit.
did you have any white lightning while you were there?
Nah, nah. My dad
Why?
doesn't get that.
Why?
Because I usually get it from my mom. Yeah, that's where I usually get it from.
But you're in Kentucky, so it's just
They probably have it somewhere. I just
I
didn't
mean,
even ask about it. Yeah, I didn't even ask about it.
ah.
I didn't even leave my dad's house like half time. I stayed with them like the entire like I feel bad too because I hate if Cuzzo's listening to
So
this.
so you didn't go to hotel? Because I know you're not big on staying with, like, family.
Mhm.
You're a hotel guy. Like, even if you have friends or family wherever you're going, and they're like, "Hey, stay with us," you're like, "No, I'm good." And
I stayed with them. I stayed with them again.
okay, that that
Um,
doesn't that doesn't happen often,
it's happened back to back times now,
which is
but
absurd.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
absurd.
But it was great. Jill takes care of us. We had the downstairs, the suite as they call it. Whatnot. So a lot of fun. It makes it easier too because you're just sitting around towards the end of the night. You're like, you know what, I'm about ready to go to bed, and so
If I'm
everybody goes.
going somewhere and, like, family's there, I honestly, I wanna stay with family
Mhm.
because you at no point in time you're like, "Oh, I gotta head back to the hotel," or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Or, not even like, "I need to drive back to the hotel," it's like, "I got an Uber back to the hotel because if I'm with family, we're drinking,
We
right?
yeah.
Um,
We got
Mama
caught up
Jewel
in
doesn't
a,
mix
we got caught up in a, was it one of those
a
checkpoints
vicious
one time.
cockfight,
No, no, no. We got caught up in a checkpoint one time a very long time ago, and it was
and by
after.
cockfight, I mean you went to an actual, like, cockfight, like, with roosters.
You think they got those there?
In Kentucky?
Yeah.
I'm offended you're even
I
asking
think
that
that's a
question.
California thing, man. I don't know.
Okay, Jewel, Jewel,
She's not gonna say
Jewel,
yes.
Jewel, just be honest with us. Do you know where to catch a cockfight? And by cockfight, we're talking about roosters, chickens. Do you know where to
Sounds
catch them there in Kentucky?
like all I feed them is cocaine and chicken. It's like
I'm not asking for everything. I just want an 8 ball and $2 million.
yeah, Baby Billy's the best. I was trying to convince my dad too. I was like, "You got to go back." He was like, "I went through like 6 episodes of season one." I go, "Just keep going, press
Just
on. You're gonna love it."
I
But
don't know how you can watch 6 episodes of the first season and be like, "Yeah, I'm done."
this
Like,
isn't for me.
I don't understand that. That doesn't compute.
Yeah, she says no. She does not.
No,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But that's like a
My brother,
no.
my brother probably does.
Jewel, okay, hold on, Jewel. Nobody's watching this podcast. Nobody. So if you say yes, no one's gonna come back to you and be like, "Hey, we heard." But let's
You're
just be also like they're in Kentucky, they're not cracking down on the cockfights. They gotta let it happen because it's part of the economy.
Jesus Christ.
It's like the white lightning, right? No one's cracking down on it.
Oh God.
Everybody knows someone who who makes it, but
Jesus.
they're not really cracking down on it because again, it's part of the economy. You just gotta let it happen.
God. But the rest of the trip was pretty mild, dude. We just kinda hung out, went to lunch with my brothers a couple times. We didn't go out anymore. We just kinda hung around the house and
Yeah.
just chilled. Like I said, I didn't leave, Lawrenceburg, other than, like, once, and that was it. I was like, the rest of the time I was just there. Like I said, I feel bad because I was supposed to go to the Reds game. I was supposed to meet up with
I
Cuzzo as
thought you
well.
were supposed to go. Oh, so you didn't see Cuzzo at all?
No, I usually hit him up when I go to Frankfurt, and it's a little bit further down the road, and I'm like, "Well, we just didn't get around to it, right? We just hung out with the family this time, right?"
That's upsetting to
It was
me that you
is
didn't hang
mainly
out
the
with
family.
Cuzzo.
I know,
Like,
I know.
I actually wanna take a trip to Kentucky, just go hang out with Cuzzo.
Oh, he's fun as shit, man. He's a
Oh,
good
I
time.
and I guarantee you if I hit him up, be like, "Hey, I'm coming to Kentucky," he'd be like, "Hey, man, let's go."
Yeah, he's funny. He's funny as hell. He's just like his daddy. His
He's
daddy was
he's
like that
down to
too.
party. Cuzzo's down to party.
So, but that was it. Other than that, I think getting delayed on the flight on the way back just by an hour. That was the most excitement, I guess, like out of that, just having fun. But
Uh-huh,
yeah, real got plenty of sleep, got to relax, um, hang out with my brothers and stuff like that. And yeah, it was a good time. And the problem is they can hang, right? Because they're like 20 years younger than I am. So they're ready to throttle up. And I'm like an old man. I'm like, but I've had enough. I gotta go to sleep. You know what I
right.
mean?
But I've also seen you be like, "Hey, I like the party."
Yeah. Well, it was a bunch of ass slapping going on Saturday night. Saturday night, I got I was out of control. Pretty sure I almost backed my way out of a situation with someone else, like a couple that was there at the bar. We took over the jukebox apparently, and so we had a good time. It was a nice trip, but it's always good to go home. But yeah, I was like,
A fun
man,
just I hate to interrupt your story, but fun fact, the Brewers are now on top of the White Sox 5-3 in the top of the 8th.
there you go, there you go.
So, we're keeping the parlay alive.
Jesus. But yeah, that's my backwoods going back home type thing. And I'm glad I tell you what, flying up there, flying
Can't
always gives me
do the
anxiety,
parlay,
but
sorry.
it's like it's one of those things where it's either you spend 12 hours on the road or you spend an hour before you get to the airport, hour and a half in the air, an hour to get to where you're going. You know what I mean? Where it's just easy. It really is. And even if you fly in like Cincinnati, that's an extra 30 minutes, to get there and back. 30 minutes up, 30 minutes back. But yeah, Lexington's obviously the optimal place to land or
And
fly
also,
into, but it's just expensive.
if you head up to a Reds game, you also got hit up Brad too,
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah.
because he's down.
Yep, yep. And it was the crazy thing about the weather was it was supposed to rain all weekend, storm, all this kind of stuff, and it held it. The crazy thing was when we landed, I packed for like cold weather, like hoodies and jeans and stuff like that. Got there, it's 80 and sunny every single day. I'm telling you, I got sunburned, dude. Like all over my arms, my legs, and all that kind of stuff. My brother's like, "You get sunburned?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "What from?" I go, "Sitting out in the sun, asshole." I was like, I was outside drinking all day. I was like,
Sunburn, yeah, from what? The fucking
dude,
sun? I don't understand that question.
I got to
I
see
mean,
my uncle. Huh?
go ahead.
I was
I'm
saying I got
interested in this statement.
Well, I got to see my uncle again, because him and my dad are hilarious together, right?
Uh-huh.
And so every time we used to go out or we go to lunch or something like that, being around those two goobers, they can you start rolling. It's just hilarious. But anyway, so he's at the shop. I'm rolling to him. I'm like, hey, you want to go to lunch with us? Nah, I brought my lunch, type thing or whatever. And he's cutting up already. Lizzie loves him to death, and I'm sitting there, and the last day I'm there, and I'm just happy to be there. I'm just in a good mood or whatever. He goes, "You just look so jolly." Anybody ever tell you that? I go, "Why? Because my rosy cheeks and fat ass belly?" I was like, "What?" It's like, "You just seem like you're in a good mood." I go, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." I need to drop a couple hoes on the way out.
There is something about, like, when you get those 2 family members together that just like Liz will tell me all the time, like, she loves it when I'm with, like, one of my brothers or both of them, because we just it's been forever since I've seen either one of them, and, like, every time we get together, it's always been a while since we gotten together, but we always pick up right where we left off, and we just have a blast, and we have a good time, and the stories we have great stories from when we were younger and all that, and it's just always fun, and it's just always fun to see when you get those there's always a couple family members together that when you get them together, you know it's gonna be a good time. You know it's gonna be fun because you're just gonna have fun together.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And those 2, the stories they tell, all that kinda stuff. I mean, they're about I think they're 11 months apart. So they're
Okay.
whatever they call them whatever twins, you
Uh,
know?
like almost brothers, right? Like,
Yeah,
at that point in time,
well, they are
yeah.
brothers.
Well, yeah, but yeah, when you're young enough, yeah. I mean, me and my brother, I don't have that with, like, me and my brothers or me and my sister, because like, me and my brothers, we were 8 years apart, and me and my sister, we were 15 years apart.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah,
but, like, I have, like, cousins, like, all my cousins, we were all around the same time,
okay.
and we spend a lot of time, so we're almost like, brothers.
Yeah,
So
we were sitting there, like so I'm the 3rd oldest in the family, so I've always had cousins around me, all that kinda stuff, and of course, I'm one of 5 brothers, right? So and I got a stepsister too, so you talk about going all the way down the list there, it's like I'm 2 years older than my other brother, I'm I think it's 9 or 11 years than my middle brother, 18 years older than Sam, 21 years older than James. James is only a year older than my son, so, it's crazy, but yeah, those boys,
I have
it's just like hanging out with anybody else. I mean, and then those 2 goobers are just like watching my dad and my uncle because 'cause they're really close and they've been close their entire lives, and they are just cutting up all times. They work together, all that kinda stuff.
yeah,
What's up, Menace?
minus the one,
How we doing?
2 Glitterbrook Kings.
What do we, alright, so what do we got on tap or up
I
next?
was
Because 'Cause
gonna
I'm gonna
say,
go grab one.
well, I got another mark, but I was gonna say, like, me and my cousins, I
Mhm.
think so there's me and then my 2 aunts, and they each had 3 kids, and I think me and the 6 of them are all within 3 years of each other. So the 7 of us, are y'all up here in Canada? We are not, minus. We're, in Texas. So we're pretty far away from Canada. I actually grew up in, Detroit, Wayne Westland, Detroit. I used to go to, Ontario all the time once I got older with my grandma to the casino out there. But yeah, no, we're down here in Canada. Not Canada, Texas. Texas. Yeehaw. But we're both like transplants. Like Rapid Days from Kentucky. I'm from Michigan. We both live in Texas now. So where in Canada are you at, Minus? Tell us. I'm curious. Rapid Dave went to go get some more Coronas. I'm gonna drink some more beers from Martin House. Do you know Peely Island? I do not. I do not know Peely Island. I like I said, I was in the Detroit area, Wayne Westland mostly, which is like 20 minutes, 15 minutes away from Detroit, if that. Um, and we were actually north of Ontario. We would go south to go to Ontario. But I'm gonna keep drinking from Martin House Brewing. I'm gonna drink Bianca, which is an Italian Pilsner. Hold on, there we go. Coming in at 5% alcohol by volume. An island between Detroit and Toronto. Okay. All right. There we go. Yeah, I lived up in Detroit until I was 15. And then when I was 15, I moved down here. If you take the ferry. Okay. I used to take we used to take the boat back in the day to Boblo Island. Uh Boblo Island's not a thing anymore, but like, if you know, you know. Um amusement park out there. Um Boblo Island. You still drinking the Coronas?
Yeah, I'm gonna finish them off. I've got 2 left. I think I'm gonna run through 1 to finish off the show because we're about 30 minutes. Ooh, you got Bianca Italian Pilsner?
Bianca. I do. I do.
Dude, I I listen, I know that most people don't wanna hear this about Pilsners and stuff like that, but when I get my hands on different Pilsners, there's German Pils, there's, Czech Pils, there's Italian Pils, and there's a couple other iterations of that. And Italian Pils, there's a local brewery here in Carrollton, 3 Nations Brewing, and they have I think it was called Andretti, and they brewed an Italian Pils.
don't think I ever had that.
It was so
Which is
freaking good.
weird.
They ran out quick because I drank a lot of them, and,
Okay.
yeah, that's always another thing my uncle always said, when I ran into him, he goes, "Hey, Brandon, how you doing? You doing all right?" "Yeah, everything's good." "Any beer left in town?" I go, "Well, I'm trying to go through them as fast as I can," whatever. Because yeah, he always tells everybody, 'cause, me and Lizzie, we could sit back and just drain them, just knock them back.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, that's, my dad, he was giving my dad shit. He goes, "How many cases do you have to buy him?" He goes, "I almost bought a cake, almost got a keg for him," whatever. I was like, "Listen, I don't want to be besmirched or anybody talking
Look,
shit about
look,
me, but I like to have a couple drinks."
look, yeah, I'm not gonna say not to buy a keg if I'm coming over, but I'm also gonna be like, hey, if you buy, I'm okay with it if you do. I'm
They
not gonna
got
tell
some
you
cool
not
they got some cool breweries out there too.
to. You look like Lord of the Rings characters.
Oh, cool. Follow that on Who Gives a Shit.
So fun fact. So I gotta. Speaking of Lord of the Rings characters,
Yeah,
got a group chat going on with me and the other coaches for the kiddos team.
there we go. Bringing it
And
back to softball.
but yeah, I'm bringing it back to Lord of the Rings. And so like two of the coaches are like, hey, we have like a camping trip with our kids this Saturday. We have a tournament.
Okay,
If we have any games after this time, we won't be there because we have this thing going on. And then one was like, yeah, they've got their gear in the woods. To which two things, two memes were popped up. One,
okay.
Brokeback Mountain memes.
Of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Two, Frodo when he sees at the end of the movie we see Samwise and Pip and whatever, all of them with the big suck fest at the end of Lord of the Rings, right? Uh, during one of the 12 endings.
Yeah, yeah,
Those were the memes that were shared when it was like, oh well, we've got this camping trip we got to go to. It was like, yeah, well,
yeah.
you guys are gay and this is what you got to go do. And the Brokeback one was when like Heath Ledger is like hugging like
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal is like just I mean the gayest
Snuggle
thing
up next to
I've
him.
seen, right? Well, the first meme that was shared was by me, which is Chang yelling "gay"
God.
back to class, right? And then it was Brokeback Mountain, and then I went and busted out the Lord of the Rings
Oh,
ones.
there you go. Yeah.
Um, that's yeah,
I actually watched, speaking of Lord, Viggo Mortensen, is that the guy? He's the king, right? The Return of the King?
he's
Y
Aragon, yeah.
Aragon. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I actually watched a movie with him on the way back home, the Green Book. Have you ever seen that?
No, I actually hear that's a really good movie.
I watched most of my stuff on, like, reels and shorts and stuff like that, and then finally
Well,
I was
I'll
just
watch
sitting
it
there.
on reels and shorts, and then it'll force me to watch the real movie,
Yeah,
right? Because I'm like, "Oh god, this looks good. What the fuck is this movie?"
yeah. I watched, Deadpool, and Wolverine on the way up and just kinda fast forwarded, just get the highlights, because I know where to stop
Fast
it.
forward, there's nowhere to fast forward through.
There's
It's all
plenty. There's
there
plenty.
no, no.
Fast forward the beginning all the way until this and that. I'll do it for you if you need me to. You can watch that movie in like an hour. And so, anyways, when I was coming back, I was like, let me poke around and see what's up. And then I saw it. I go, you know what? Why not? But I did do a lot of fast forwarding. But that movie's wild. It's a pretty good movie. Pretty good little show. Pretty good little show.
Mama Jewel's gotta hit the hay. Thank you so much, Jewel, for watching. We appreciate you.
Good night. So,
And,
Dad, I said I love him. I love y'all. And thank you so much. Appreciate it. Jesus Christ, Henson.
is that the one where he helps out Shador Sanders get drafted? So we actually Henson, glad you're here.
Thanks for the
Uh,
transition.
we hadn't talked about the draft yet, so we gotta get into the
Good night,
draft.
Joel. Love you. Bye.
Um, Henson, we actually talked fantasy football and drafting with rookies and stuff during the SP Fantasy Football. So if you want to check it out, go watch it on there.
I'm going to get you.
But Henson, we got to have you on the show here in the next week or two, like because it's been a while and we need you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Show's better when you're on it.
Hey, ironic twist in that.
Yeah. What's the ironic twist?
That's my favorite line.
Oh, okay.
It's just
But so the draft happened this last Thursday. We talked about it some last week during the show. Let's do next week. You want
all right,
next week?
fine. Yep, it's fine.
All right. We'll have you on next week, buddy. Let's just make it happen, Captain.
Yep. It'd just be remote. Let's just do remote, and everybody can have fun.
Can we coordinate, Henson? Do you want to coordinate a beer mix pack with us?
Oh, it's the first of the month. We could do bourbon. Basil Hayden.
There's drops. Oh, buddy.
That's my favorite line.
You know, I say it's the
Um,
first of the month, so it's Whiskey Wednesday. If you want to coordinate a whiskey or a bourbon, we can do that, but we got to keep it under control. Last time I was like pissing in the corner of my room.
you were pissing in the corner of your room. I threw up in two of the bathrooms in my house and the backyard. Um,
Okay. We got problems, man. Like,
I drank almost a bottle of one, and then I had some of the other two. So
yeah,
I essentially drank an entire bottle of whiskey plus some.
it got out of hand, to say the
It,
least.
it shit just got out of control.
Yeah, but if we can coordinate, I say Basil Hayden. That's always just seems to be his go-to. So we can get a Basil Hayden's. I don't have a bottle of that. I'd love to go buy another bottle.
Hanson, what's going on with your whiskey company?
Ooh, yeah, they were supposed
Is,
to be
is
adding
that
color and stuff like
is
that.
that is that something that maybe we can meet up and get the sample of the split between the three of us?
Yeah, maybe
Tell
if you're
us.
in,
Tell
tell
us.
us, please. God, tell us.
For the love of God, tell us
Rangers
now.
still time 1-1, bottom of the seventh. All right.
The Yankees lost to the Orioles and screwed my parlay today. So you
Mm.
Yankees.
So what do you want to talk
Um,
about with the draft? The most
oh,
racist draft of all times.
okay. So
The
let's get
most racist, you know, cock block and everything. I've never seen a more
okay. Hold on,
discriminatory thing in my life. Like I could not believe what
hold on,
happened.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Let's bring it on down now. We're gonna bring it on down. Bring it on down. Everyone's like, yeah, let me see what I can do. Okay, we'll just hey Henson, you have my number. Hit me up. Let me
Yeah.
know.
If not, we'll just get something else.
If I got to meet up with you anytime between now and then, let me know and I'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Um, so everyone's like, oh, Shador's dropping.
Ooh,
This is
a travesty. Some
this
people
is
said travesty.
two things. One is the NFL blackballing him.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Two, it's racism. They're not drafting him because
So
he's black,
racist.
right? But at the same time, so racist they took it. That's my point. They're like, oh, this racism. He's dropping because he's black. But the first player taken in the draft was Cam
And more.
Ward,
Yeah. Yeah.
who I don't know if you know this or not, but he is also a black quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And then the number two player taken in the draft
Yeah, he was black too.
was Abdul Carter, who is
He's black.
also black.
Yeah, he's black.
The number three player taken
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's
was
black.
that Jacksonville?
Jack Hunter. No, wait. Did you already say Travis Hunter?
No, because
Travis
Abdul
Hunter was
Carter
number
was
two.
number two. Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry. Abdul Carter was. Yeah, Travis Hunter was number two,
Yeah.
and he's black, and actually Shador's teammate. Number three was Abdul Carter,
Mm-hmm.
who
Yeah.
is also black. So your first three players, I don't know who
Happens to
four
be.
was, but four might have been. I don't
Mhm.
know. But yeah, it had nothing to do with racism or anything like that. Had to do with the media and the mock drafters blowing everything out of proportion.
And absolutely being a headache.
And like honestly, like I think leading that charge, who he absolutely lost his mind during the draft was Mel Kiper.
Oh, buddy.
Mel
Has he
Kiper.
ever been right in his life?
Well, he has been.
Has he ever been right?
He has been, but he's also been really wrong.
Yeah, he's been doing this for like forever. He said Tim
Forever.
Couch was gonna be like,
He's
I had
just
to
not
come
that
back.
good at
What's up,
the
Wine
things
Mile?
he's in.
Wine
Um,
Mile, I think, hold on real quick.
we'll come back
I know
one.
we talked about having Wine
Wine's
Mile
in
on,
Canada. Yeah, let's have wine on.
and we're gonna have, I think we're trying to have Henson on this week. Maybe we're gonna squeeze in Wine Mile the following week. We're gonna get in touch with you, coordinate a wine as well.
Oh,
And then
I'll drink
we'll figure out something. But yeah, I'm glad you're back. Welcome back.
some. Wine Mile, can you send us an email at strikeabeer@gmail.com? And hold on. I'm gonna go. Let me look at my calendar right now. So today is April 30th. We're gonna have Henson joining us on May 7th. May 14th, Wine Mile, would you like to join us? Send us an email, strikeabeer@gmail.com. Let's make it happen. Yeah, Kuiper lost his mind. Like, it was absurd. But this
Yeah.
was also, I mean, Kuiper had Jamarcus Russell as an all-time great. I mean, yeah.
Him,
And he
Tim
also, like,
Couch. I mean, Jesus Christ, the
Blake
list goes on and
Bortles.
on.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, here's the thing. The mock drafters got this wrong. if you talk to anybody in the NFL circles, none of them had Shador that rated that high.
Yeah. He didn't do that great. Like, the only
Well,
reason
I
he got
mean, he
his
had, like,
number retired is because they retired Travis Hunter's number. They're like, "Yeah, fuck,
well,
we gotta do him
he
too."
had his
Which
number
is both
retired.
a joke.
His dad was the coach.
Yeah.
Is the coach. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it, Mama. Hit us up.
I'll message you, dude. We're on Instagram. I'll hit you up.
Okay.
Yeah.
But and they're like, oh well, Shador holds over 100 Colorado records. Okay, your last great quarterback was Cordell Stewart,
Such a great franchise. Like,
who should have.
goated
You know what?
franchise.
Cordell Stewart should have had his number retired before
Yeah,
Shador, but
yeah.
whatever. He was 13-12 in his 2 years, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
he's
crazy.
just
It's the absurdity, and you're right. The mock drafters and all these folks, they blew it out of
they all
proportion,
had it wrong.
and then they all ran. Everybody else ran with it because they're like, "Oh my god, he's still not drafted." I'm like, who do you think this fucking guy is?
Well,
If he wasn't Deion Sanders' kid, you wouldn't know who he was.
but I don't
He's
think
walking around with $100,000 wristwatch. He's, this and that. Is Jewel is on
Mark
here
said
too much.
Jules on here too much. Oh no.
What's up, Mark? How we doing, Uncle Mark? We're trying to
Um,
nail down Vegas too. So get with Jewel if we're gonna go. Get with Jewel. I told her to pick a date. I was like, I'm down to go. Pick a date. Then we'll meet y'all up there.
but you've got all this going on, but like also like this wasn't like a huge like QB draft, right?
No, it was a terrible draft. It's
Um,
all cornerbacks and edges, essentially.
and like the thing came out there like after day one, like, and then hell, like going into day two, should Shador just a lot of people are like Shador should just go back to college. He'll make more money than he will in the NFL,
Yeah.
but he needs to go back to college and not play for his dad and not play for Colorado. If you're really that great, and you're really that good, and you think you should be better, go somewhere and not play for Colorado and play for your dad.
This was the reason he came out this year. This is the best year for him to come out because there was less competition in
And
the
next year,
QB
though,
spot.
I mean, you got Arch Manning coming out
Yeah,
next year.
he's not fucking sniffing anything in the first round unless something crazy happens this
Well,
year.
he didn't sniff anything near the first round this
Well,
year.
that's what I'm saying though. And that's with nobody. That's with nobody. So if next year you actually got like some actual talent, this year was a dud for offensive players for the most part. There was a couple flashes. Got a
This
little
is
Bianca.
this is
Oh,
so
fuck yeah,
fun.
Italian pilsners are where
Oh,
it's at, sir.
it gets me in my feels. But here's the thing. I actually think Shador might actually be okay. Like,
He'll be all right.
I don't think I think he has a chance to be pretty good. Now,
Dak Prescott.
I
That's the most middle of the road name I can come up with immediately.
but it's not. I actually think Dak Prescott, he's not middle of the road as far as quarterbacks in the NFL.
Okay.
I will say that. He was taken in the 4th round. Some good RBs, a couple tight ends, weak overall.
How about this?
But I don't think it's weak overall. I think it's more along the lines of you had a draft that was really good for offensive and defensive linemen, cornerbacks, and things like that. Nothing sexy. Like the top picks aren't sexy picks.
Yeah.
And that's what I think it is.
Listen,
Like I think he has some really good offensive defensive linemen. Okay, go ahead. Listen.
I don't want to bog this down because I know it's very
No.
because he got hurt. It throws it out there, but let me just run down the top 10. And you can just tell me if you think Dak fits in there. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels, Jordan Love, Jared Goff, Brock Purdy, Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts. This is all by QBR, by the way.
Hold
It's
on.
by QBR.
Hold on. We got to go back. I'm not putting Jaden over Dak right now.
Well, no,
I'm not.
Listen. Well, I'm just saying in general because it's QBR stuff. You know what I mean? I went QBR ratings.
Well, Dak got hurt last year.
Exactly. That's why I told you to just bear in mind
But
that Dak got hurt.
the Dak
And
is above average.
And even like Brock Purdy, he finished 7th. Pat
I
Mahomes was
would
8th. You just gonna keep talking? You want me to do 2023? I'll do 2023. Let's do
No, no,
23.
no.
Dak
But
Prescott's number 2. Brock Purdy's number 1.
Mark doing good, sipping on some Jameson orange. Yes, I'm
Ooh.
Vegas. We have to get those plans put together soon. Henson said Kyler sucks. I would put Dak ahead of Kyler, 100%. Um, I would put Dak probably in the top 10 of quarterbacks in the NFL. Like honestly,
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with that.
lower top 10, but in the top 10, I will put Dak ahead of Brock Purdy. I think Dak is more talented than Brock Purdy. Uh, I do really like Brock Purdy
It kind
on
of thins out a
on
little
the
bit.
team
I
that
think
he's on,
I
right?
think the injury gets
Part of it
involved
has
here.
to do with being on the team that you're on, right?
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, Herbert's 11th on this list. He should be top 10. Questionable. And then Tua, if he stopped leading with his head like a fucking bowling ball, he'd be in there, but he's 15th.
I would put Tua. I like Emil Hemming to drafter get drafted. I don't know who Emil Hemming is. I'd have to look that up. But I, as far as a quarterback, like I think I would take Justin Herbert over Dak.
You know, the crazy thing is with this list,
But it's close for me. Like,
I
I
think
think
it,
it's really close.
I think it really shows how like the top 16 teams, their quarterback situation is a lot better than the bottom 16. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Yeah,
Jesus,
yeah,
if you're telling me you don't need a quarterback, like actually you probably do. You
I
know,
think
like somewhere between 8 and 12. You're not wrong, Hinton. I think
no,
you're
no, yeah,
right. Yeah.
100%. I
Middle of the
have
road. He's not above 8 though. He's not above 8.
no, 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 no.
But
I I would put Jared Goff ahead of Dak Prescott.
of course you would. Why
I
wouldn't you?
would put Matt
I
Stafford
can't
ahead.
even believe you can say it with your mouth.
I Who would you rather have, Dak or Jared Goff?
Who's got me more fantasy points in the past?
No, no,
That's one
no.
taking.
We're
That's
we're
one taking.
talking football. We're talking football. Who do
Real
you
life football?
Yeah.
Man, that's tough because I don't like either one of them. Like in real life
Okay.
football.
One has taken the team to a Super Bowl,
Who?
Jared Goff.
St. Louis?
Yeah, he took the Rams to the Super
Oh,
Bowl.
Jesus Christ. That was a weird ass year. Todd
Oh,
Gurley took that team to the Super Bowl.
Todd Gurley did not take that team to the Super Bowl because that's the year that Todd Gurley was all his shit was all retarded and he
But
talked like a fag.
God damn, Alan. All right, that's all I was trying to interrupt you. God. He put Julius Mitten and
That sounds like a fake name. Why?
yeah.
Um,
That's not Mark. It's Juan Ma.
but
Yeah. So Mark, real quick. Get with Jewel, pick a date, let me know, and I'll meet y'all there for a couple nights. I'll be there for 2 nights. I'll go for 2 nights. Lizzie and I will be out there for 2 nights.
Utah, give me two.
Yeah. My boy. And the crazy thing is, Ty and Austin probably come out there with us. They're finally at age. They're like, oh, I want to go to Vegas. Y'all go all the time. I want to go. I want to go.
Of course you want to go.
Yeah.
Um, but I'll tell you, like one player that I'm more interested in now than I was when the college football season ended.
Hmm.
Um, Cam Ward is a guy that like the more that I see about him, the more I'm like, you know what? I think that guy might be pretty decent. He's going to Tennessee. Eh, not the best situation, but he's all about football. Like, and that's my thing with him. He's all about football. That's all he cares about. Like, you have all these clips out there where like he's out there working out with like Shador, and they're doing some things. Like Shador looks at him and is like, "Hey man, we gotta drop a song together." And Cam looks at me and goes, "No." He goes, "What do you mean no?" He goes, "I'm all about football. I want nothing to do with recording a song or doing anything else. I just want to play football."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Hey, who has the best chance to win more games next year? Um, the Giants, the Titans, the Jaguar." He lists like the top like 5 teams, the top 5 picks. And he goes, "I don't know who." He goes, "Whoever drafts me."
Damn.
So yeah. Well, we know more about Daniels this season. He certainly looked the part, but there's a long list of players that had great rookie years and never looked as good again. Yeah, no, that's definitely a thing.
Man, I
Like
was super excited about Washington this year, and Daniels looks freaking amazing. I want to see
Daniels,
more. I want to see more.
I you know what?
So I'm waiting.
I I want Daniels to look good this next year because I got a Jane Daniels autographed
Oh,
Arizona State card
you always got some cards sitting
that
around.
that I'm looking to sell, and if he starts the year off great next year, I can probably get like $1,000 for it. So
There you go.
let's go Jane Daniels. But
Those
no,
cards
but
are crazy.
I like Washington is one of those teams that when they're better, the league is better.
Yeah.
It's one of those teams that's been around for a minute that when they're better, the league is better. But I also think Washington will be pretty good. And I think Jane Daniels will be pretty good. Can he 100% duplicate what he did last year? I don't know. But if he could
It
just
wasn't
be
nothing outrageous. I think it was very. I think it's
it
very
was
attainable.
he got better as the season went on,
Yeah.
as rookies will, right? But like you saw like CJ Stroud for example.
Yeah.
His rookie year, he had a great year, and then last year he was just okay. But also
Injuries.
some of that had to do with his receivers were injured,
Yep.
right? And he had some injury stuff, and his running backs had some injury stuff. So
The same thing with Love.
we'll
Love
see.
got hurt too, and
Well,
his receivers got hurt too, and he was banged up an
I
entire season.
also think Jordan Love was way overrated because other than the last like 5 games of last year, he's been trash.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
not
towards
last
the end of
year,
the
but
year,
the
he
year
was.
before. The year before. Like last year, because the year before was his first year, and
Yeah.
he wasn't great. And then he had a really good last 5 games of the season. It was like, oh, he's figured it out. And
Oh
then
yeah.
last year he wasn't that good, but he also battled some injuries and things like that. But that was also his offensive line wasn't that great.
Yeah. He bumped
Uh,
into one of the linemen and like pulled his
he he,
drawing and stuff. Like
he
it was
farted.
weird.
He did the whole fart and fall down thing, right? Um, but I don't think. I haven't seen much from Jordan Love that's really sold me on him being a great player. Um, so I'm still holding off on that. But then also, like the Packers went out there and they were drafting wide receivers and all. Like you got to help your quarterback out, not just with receivers, because you kind of thought you were set on the receiver front.
Isn't that where Miles from? He's from up there, right? He's from Green Bay.
No, no, he's from Canada.
Miles from Canada.
Yeah, yeah,
We sure about that?
yeah. Me and him talked about it earlier.
Oh, okay.
He said, "Are you guys from Canada too?" I said, "We're Texas."
He asked me about like Total Wine too, because they finally made a trip to Total Wine because this place is amazing. I was like, it's awesome. It's whatever.
It's
He goes, you
pretty
got a
cool.
lot near you? I go, a shit ton. He throw a rock and hit like 20. It's like, but that's just where we're staying. Yeah,
But I don't understand the Packers draft
yeah, it's a bit
because
weird.
you're drafting these receivers and all that, but you need some offensive line help. You need some other help.
Yeah.
Yeah, protect your quarterback.
Hmm.
And you're almost like you hear Packers fans talk last year. We're good on receivers. We have great receivers.
Yeah,
We have okay receivers.
plenty of them. Last thing you said something. There was a prank call made.
Well, there were several prank calls made.
All right, so what the hell happened?
So the biggest prank call that was out there was the one to Shador Sanders.
Oh
And
God.
there was a prank call to Shador Sanders in the 3rd round from the Saints, actually just before they drafted, that quarterback they drafted, Taylor Shook, I think
Well,
is
there
his
was only a couple of those teams that were going to draft him, right? It was going to be the Saints, the Browns. Maybe I guess the Giants already got
Steelers,
their guys. The Steelers too, right? The
right.
Steelers,
Um,
they still don't have anybody.
no. Well, they drafted Will Howard, which I think is better than Mason Rudolph
Yeah,
because we know we get with Mason Rudolph. You know what you have with Will Howard yet, but that's besides the point. They're just waiting for Aaron Rodgers to decide. But I talked about that a little bit on SB Fantasy Football.
yeah.
Rodgers got all upset because he booked the flight out to New York to go talk to Aaron Glenn and all them out there. And Aaron Glenn's like, "Hey, do you really want to play football this year?" And Aaron Rodgers goes, "Well, I'm interested." And Aaron Glenn said, "Hold on, I'll be right back." He leaves the room. He goes and gets the GM, brings the GM in there, and he's like, "So again, let me ask you, are you interested in playing football?" He goes, Do you want to play football? He goes, well, I'm interested. He goes, we're going a different direction this year.
I'm
All right.
interested in the position.
Well, if you're not like all in, I'm out. And like we've talked about it. Like we thought 2 years ago, you don't want Aaron Rodgers because we didn't think he was really in on playing. We never thought he was really in on playing for the last 2 years.
He hadn't
And
been
like,
on playing like for like the last 5 or whatever it was.
and well, I mean, he was at I think 4 years ago he won the league MVP, so I think
Is
he
it
was in then.
after the second? He won back to back, right?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
won. I think he's won 3 or 4.
Well,
Uh,
he won like 2 back to back, and they're like, okay, and then he won, and then he just kind of like didn't care
well,
anymore. You could totally see it. He just
well,
didn't
it
care.
wasn't that. It was the whole. They had issues like they were down by 3 and they went for on 4th down when they were in field goal range and they didn't get it, and that was a whole big thing, right?
Oh boy,
But
it's back when Crosby was skipping for him, I think.
is Crosby still kicking for him? I think he is. He might be. I don't know. But all that's going on, and like we've talked about it. We didn't think we haven't thought Aaron Rodgers is in for a few years now. And like if I'm coaching a team and I go up to Aaron Rodgers, I'm like, hey, do you really want to play football this year? And he looks at me and goes, I'm interested. I'm out. Here's what I want, and here's how I think it would have went. And like Aaron Rodgers got all butthurt. He wanted Pat McAfee. He's like, I paid for my own flight out there to go talk to them. They could have done this over Zoom, but I don't think it necessarily was decided before then, because I think if Aaron Glenn looks at Aaron Rodgers and says, hey, do you really want to play football this year? And Aaron Rodgers looked at him and said, I am so in this year. The last 2 years have been really rough on me. I tore my Achilles. I tried to come back that year. It didn't work out. We weren't going to make the playoffs. I didn't come back. I came back last year. It took me a while to catch on because you can look at his first half of the year versus his second half of the year last year. And his second half of the year was way better than his first half. He started to play better the second half. He goes, you know what? I didn't feel myself the first half of the year. I felt way better the second half of the year. I'm coming in the season healthy. I can lead this team to the playoffs. I can lead this team to a Super Bowl. And Aaron Glenn would have looked at him and said, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
Right? Or maybe he wouldn't have. But I feel like if he had said all that, he would have been like, you know what? Yeah, I'm in. I coached against you for several years. I know how you are as a player. You're been one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history. And you're looking at me and say, I'm in. I feel better this year than I've ever felt. Let's do this. I can take this team to the playoffs. It would have been different. But instead, Aaron Rodgers looked at me and goes, I'm interested.
Yeah. Brandon
And
McManus
he
is the
looked at me and
kicker
said,
for
you're interested?
the Green Bay Packers, just FYI.
Okay.
Brandon McManus.
Okay.
McManus. So what's up with these prank calls?
So Shadur got prank call in the 3rd round. And that was a whole big thing that was blown up because it actually turned out it was the Giants defensive coordinator's son.
Oh God.
So the Giants defensive coordinator left his iPad unlocked and had a bunch of phone numbers stuff on there. He saw Shadur's number on there and he goes, oh. So he goes back to his college and he's talking to his frat boys. He's like, hey, I got Shadur Sanders' number. Hey, let's prank call him and let's record it. So they recorded it. They dropped the recording.
Is that an instant fire for you?
No.
No?
No. Well, the NFL fined the Falcons. I'm sorry, it wasn't the Giants. It was the Falcons.
Okay.
Find the Falcons $250,000 and find the defensive coordinator $100,000.
Okay.
Which I think he makes $500,000 this year.
So it stings a little bit.
It stings quite a bit.
Oh, 20%. Yeah.
But yeah. But it wasn't the only one. Like it came out. There was like 6 or 7 other rookies who had prank calls. One of which was Abdul Carter. They got drafted by the Giants with the 3rd pick. And when the 2nd pick happened, someone prank called them and said, "Hey, we're with the Jags. We just traded with the Browns. We're going to draft you here." And then they drafted Travis Henry, and he's like, "Oh,
Okay.
that sucks." Travis Hunter. I'm sorry, Travis Hunter.
Mhm.
But then with the 3rd pick, he was drafted by the Giants, and all was right, right? And there was a bunch of other guys, like Isaiah Bond was one of them, a guy who did not get drafted, who arguably more so than Shador should have been a first round pick. But then he's got these sexual assault allegations out there against him.
Dude,
And that's what caused him to not be drafted. Breaking news, Aaron Rodgers still hasn't picked a team or retirement. Yeah.
we were just talking about that, TJ. Hey,
Which
buddy.
is Steelers just need to move the fuck on. But so one of those guys was like, there was like 7 guys this year
I
that
mean, it's gonna be
pranked
something has to happen,
But,
right? I
like
think it's completely unprofessional.
well, it's unprofessional, but at the same time, we also come from a generation
Of
that
clickbait and bullshit. I think
no,
you
no,
know
no,
what?
no, no. Hold on.
Can
We come from the Jerky Boys generation.
but the kids that are doing it are not. So
No,
do we allow them to so here's how we fix the situation. If you made the phone call, you now get to get into a room and the person you prank called gets to get in the room with you.
who
5
cares?
minutes, they can do whatever they want to you. We're gonna make it right now. Do you think it fixes the situation? We don't get any more prank calls?
But they're prank calls, right? And so, like, also the videos out there circulating from like last year's draft, when Cooper DeJean got prank called. And so he gets a prank call and he's on the phone. He's talking to the guy. He's like, "Hey, what's going on? Yeah, yeah." And then he gets to a point where he realizes he goes, "Oh, it's a prank." And he hangs up and they go, "What's going on?" He goes, someone's prank calling saying they're from the Packers." And everyone starts laughing, right? It's a prank call.
So what?
What does it really hurt?
It's on do it
I mean, it in and of itself, you can
so
make it
you're okay with being
joke,
embarrassed in front of a bunch of people and say America. You're okay with that, right? Like if
but
you like
but
had
it's
any
not
sense or pride
you
or anything
know,
like
the
that.
Cooper DeJean last year got out there because his team put it out there. And at the end of the day, he got drafted by the Eagles and he won the fucking Super Bowl.
Mhm.
And he's the only white cornerback in the freaking league. Like,
The only
it's a
white
prank call.
quarterback what?
Cornerback. There's
Oh,
only one
cornerback. Oh,
white
okay.
cornerback in the league,
Yeah.
and it's Cooper DeJean. He's it.
Okay.
There's no, but like Abdul Carter, he got prank call. Oh, we're taking with second pick. Oh, it didn't happen. He got drafted with a third pick. It's a prank call.
Okay. I mean, you're fine
It,
with it. That's fine.
it's whatever. No one's getting hurt over it. Is it sorry a little bit? Yeah, but
One shot.
oh,
He gets one poke at him.
oh wait, did you listen to any Jerky Boys when you were younger?
Yeah, of course. I listen to Ron Mercer too.
Yeah. Did you have a problem with any of those?
I figured the guy'd get his ass kicked if he ever showed his face. I figured that would happen.
It's a prank call. It's a joke.
Yeah.
No one's hurt over it. No one's whatever, right?
Okay. All right. Okay.
Who cares?
I'll give you a poke. I'm down to poke a little bit. Just a little
Eh,
pokey poke. Uh TJ asked if there was a pick in the draft that made you scratch your head in confusion.
You tell me.
I don't have one. They all look fine to me. Well, there goes Alan. Later, dude. Yeah, I didn't have a pick. I thought it was kind of weird that Shador went all the way down to the 6th round. And maybe that was it, right? I think maybe 3rd or 4th. There's teams out there that still need a quarterback, and we talked about it earlier. Pittsburgh. I'm like, you're getting a lot of equity at this point, and then it kind of just showed like they just don't want to deal with them. They don't want any part of them. So, how big a boy? Exactly. Yeah, I listened to Ron Mercer. Obviously, I was in Carolina, and his tapes and stuff like that were just hilarious. It was I mean, there was one dude that was like, "Hey, I was down at the bowling alley that one time. My son was down there, and he got that fungi on his fingers, and it got to his feet, and it got all over his body. I'm not going to tell you how it happened. It just happened, blah 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 blah. So I'm gonna come down there, open a can of what the hell? It wasn't a can of whoop. Was it a can of whoop ass or something like that? It was something, and he was like, the bowling alley guy have had enough shit. He had a leak in the roof and all that kind of stuff. He goes, you know what? Bring your ass down here. I'm just dying to tune your ass up. But yeah, he's like, how big a boy are you? And he passed away. He's RIP. RIP. I mean, he died this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Who?
Ron Mercer. He died 2025 or late 2024.
Ron
So,
Mercer died? I missed that.
He did. Yeah, I grew up on him and a local guy by the name of Sam from Sales. Ron Allen Mercer, 64, passed away on December 17th. That ain't him.
You got to look up comedian.
I was like, that ain't him.
Because there's a Ron Mercer from the NBA.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm on there.
Brent Douglas versus prank call Roy D. Mercer. Also, it's Brent Douglas. So Brent Douglas did that. I'm pretty sure he's dead. Douglas.
He died February 8th, 2025.
Okay, so
he just died at the age of 69 from cancer.
Got him.
Yeah. So
Ron D. Mercer. Which one is this fucking guy? Never mind. I'm gonna watch it. Anyways, so there's your prank calls. You take them how you want them or whatever. I take prank calls as, let's have some fun or whatever. But if it's like that time, it's a big night type thing. I've got a little bit of a problem with it. It's kind of the same people that hide behind the internet, but they'll never do anything like in front of you.
Well, I mean, the guy from the Falcons defense coordinator kid, they recorded and released the video, right? And so the Falcons got fined $250,000, and the defensive coordinator got fined $100,000.
Yeah, I'd almost be like, hey, you know what? You're fired at this point. You can't control your shit. You can't control your kid.
His kid's an asshole, right? But
no, I'm just saying, there's things, and these fucking kids are running wild, man. You got to start bonking them on the head. They've been behind the keyboard their entire lives. They have no idea how the real world works. But so anyways, let's get out of here. We got to do some Patreon, maybe a late night beer review or something like that. I got shit to do. Let's go.
We got 2 Patreon videos to record.
Sounds like we got to go.
All right, fuck it. We got to go.
Fuck
but you know what? Tune in. I think. Okay. Next week is. I think it's a Whiskey Wednesday.
Yeah.
First week of the month. And special guest Michael Henson joining us.
He fucking.
And then in 2 weeks, Wine Mile's in 2 weeks. It's a wine episode with Wine Mile joining us. Maybe we'll drink some 19 Crimes, some Snoop Dogg wine. I don't know, or Martha Stewart. I don't know wine. Fucking. Do I got to keep it cold? Do I keep it warm? What do I got to do?
He'll tell you what to do. He'll tell you what to do.
He'll tell us Whiskey Wednesday, maybe TJ.
Next Wednesday.
And then you know what? Hey, in 3 weeks, let's have TJ Burns join us. How's that sound?
Don't sing it, bring it, brother.
Just Be a Dad podcast is supposed to be coming back. I heard.
I keep seeing everything about we're coming back.
Coming back. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. Whatever. So we got TJ and Busby and Nate, Cam Newton, douchebag joining them. Still owes me 2 hottest chips because he thought Cam Newton's the greatest quarterback of all time. But whatever. That's besides the point. But you know what, guys? We appreciate you. We love you. And let's just be honest. We're the only podcast out there that will do over the pants stuff with you.
Totally.
Find another podcast that will do over the pants stuff with you, and they're lying. We'll do it. And we'll look you in the eye while we do it.
Oh, yeah.
As always, I'm Alan.
I'm already.